Wait. A roguelite FPS with RPG elements, talents, and all this other stuff? Well, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to what is the show where all I do is find a game and answer the simple question of what is Gunfire Reborn. Gunfire Reborn is an adventure level based game featuring FPS, roguelite and RPG elements. Players control their unique heroes, each with different abilities as they adventure through room levels, pick up randomly dropped weapons, and play either alone or cooperatively with your friends. This game is a first installment early access coming from Doyle Entertainment Interactive. I'm very sorry if I butchered that, they come from Hong Kong. I am crap at words. This game offers the roguelike element of every single level being random. Each new restart is a brand new experience and we get to meet different things, mess around and learn new weapons and deal with new heroes, items, checkpoints, and all that unique combat rhythms that you get from bosses. This game is currently in early access, so this review may be subject to change later on in the future, who knows, but let's just jump into it. You start off in the game as a little cat samurai dude with the ability to shoot energy orbs out of the palm of your hand. Equipped with only your gun, you go spelunking into this nice temple and fight everything and anything that gets in your way. During my point in time of playing this, I felt nostalgia from several different games that must have really inspired this one. Certain ones that come to mind would be Risk of Rain, possibly even Dead Cells with how some of the themes looked, and Borderlands definitely had a big deal with this, due to the fact of all the different choices of guns you can have, as well as the fact that you could equip at least 3. You boast grenades and 3 different ammo types, just to make sure that the guns are really packing their punch. Not only do you have all of this arsenal behind you, during the point in time of exploring, you will gain extra bonuses from an array of scrolls and different sets of power-ups. Also being able to meet merchants, and all different types of characters that can hopefully help you, heal you, and definitely not curse you. Maybe. If you have realized that this is in fact a video and you're not just listening to audio, you should have been able to see some things in front of you. It consists of me playing the game, and you can tell the art style in itself is absolutely lovely. As well as this, the background music and sounds are pretty decent as well. Let me just shut up for a second so you can hear this boss fight in full. And there it is. Nice crunchy sounds, nice big shots coming from both the grenades and all forms of the assault weapons. It's really quite nice gunplay and gunfire. So far I've been having a heap of fun practicing and messing around with all the different weapons I got to play with. Yes, I did die there, ignore that. I'm clearly brilliant at this game. However, that lets us segue nicely into the end bit that consists of upgrades. There are talent trees, all sorts of things that we can do with the game once we have finished our adventure into the temple. This upgrade currency does not stick around, so you need to be spending it in full the second that you have the opportunity to. These consist so far as Expedition, which will help you gain extra bonuses and things when you're exploring, Survival, which is the usual, shields, HP and everything else, Battle, which will more than likely just increase your ammo and parts of your damage, and then the Hero ability section, which will also occur when you start leveling up. So let me just play this third run or something at 2x speed, and I will talk about the good, the bad, and what I would suggest or what I would want from it, as well as if I would in fact tell you to buy it. The good. It boasts an absolute metric crapload of weapon types from what I've seen so far, and I have barely scratched the surface. There is so much more to unlock, and there's always more to grab every time I'm playing. I absolutely enjoy this. This really reminds me of all forms of the really good roguelikes where there is just so much to go through and so much content. It seems amazing. All the enemies seem different and have their own form of variety, and looking at each one of them you basically know what they do and how they act, and it's very intuitively easy to understand. The game still requires you to at least have some level of skill and use the mechanics wisely, because it is an FPS. If you don't know how to aim, you're not going to get very far. And I love this because sometimes you need a challenge. The skill tree is something I'm very excited about in the future, as there is a huge one that I already have shown you. And that's just for one character. Right now I can see that there is 4 characters, but I only believe that you can unlock 2. This could be wrong, as I haven't got to play through it too much just yet, as this is just a first impression. There are definitely forms of perk synergies that I haven't got to see yet or experiment with, but stuff like that always gets me very excited, because I know that there could be so much fun that can be had with something like this. Each weapon felt completely unique as well, so not only was there lots of weapon types, each one of them felt like they had their own special knack, and I really enjoyed learning which ones I liked to play with and which ones I didn't. As you can tell from a lot of the gameplay video that I have in here right now, explosives and assault rifles are definitely my thing. So far the progression in the game seems fine. I've done a couple runs and I am level 6 or 7. And I believe that like nearly the max level is around 50-60. So I'm assuming a good couple of hours of gameplay at least to get a decent way through, but when have we not had to deal with a grind once in a while? Now let me take you on to the bad. In my opinion, right now from what I've seen, there is minimal variation and change with the level segments. My first run felt like my third run, which also technically felt like my second run, but I'm sure this will only get better when they add more abilities, like more segments for it to then switch to with the procedural generation that it has. I don't know if this is just me, but I did get slightly confused with how the layout was for the guns. Every time I went to switch to what I thought was my primary, it was not my primary. It was in fact the special weapons. Now this could probably be changed in customization or keyboards, but it just made for a kind of awkward experience the first couple rounds. I'm sure after a while I will get used to it. It's just definitely not what I'm used to when it comes down to games of this type that kind of have the same Borderlands-esque weapon swap system, but hey, sometimes stuff can be wrong. Now we'll just switch on to the last little bit that I want to talk about, with the fact that it is early access. Like I said, it's early access, so all this stuff could be subject to change. I played a couple levels with my friend online and it seemed fairly stable and there was no issues, no desync, no nothing like that. So honestly, a really strong start for this early access. Very happy to see when it comes down to multiplayer, not just skimping out and making it a horrible laggy mess. So would I suggest to a friend to buy the game? Yes, I made a friend buy the game just so I could play it with him because I was enjoying it so much. I thought it'd be funny to see what would happen if we were to play with co-op, and it was a really good time. So that's it, that's my review. A TLDR, definitely very worthwhile, reminiscent of games like Borderlands and FPSs like Risk of Rain 2. A very decent feeling game. Definitely what I would say would be a diamond in the rough. Playable 100% from start to finish, but it is undergoing forms of improvement due to the fact that it is still in early access. Would I suggest buying it? Yes, definitely. I think everyone should pick this up. It's definitely worth a steal as well at the current price that it is sitting at, which as of right now in the UK is £9.29. I would assume that that is around $11 to $12 if you are from there. Anywhere else, I'm very sorry. I have no idea. So, what are you waiting for? Do you want a super duper fun, action-packed, insane, crazy FPS roguelike? Of course you do. Go grab it now. It is currently very cheap, and it's in the early access stages, so you hopefully, if you want to talk to the developers about it, may be able to even make some changes happen yourself. Play it all alone, play it with your friends, do whatever you like. I don't control you. I just think you should buy it. Either way, that's it from me. Thank you so much. I have been Dom, and this is What Is, the show where I literally ask the question and answer, what is this game? If you would like to see me play this in the future, let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!